You keep treating status like a mood, like an aura, like some invisible confidence you either have or you don't. That's why you keep losing rooms you technically belong in. Status isn't your personality. Status is your position in the hierarchy, the slot people assign you based on what you tolerate, what you command, what you produce, and what it costs to access you. Personality is what you tell yourself in the mirror. Position is what the world does to you when you speak, when you walk away, when you ask, when you refuse. Here's the brutal lens shift. You are ranked before you are understood. The human animal doesn't begin with fairness. It begins with sorting. Every group, workplace, friend circle, family, dating market, builds an unseen ladder and then pretends it doesn't exist. The pretense is etiquette. The ladder is reality. You think being good protects you. It doesn't. In most hierarchies, goodness without leverage is interpreted as permission. Loyalty without boundaries becomes ownership. You don't belong, you're managed. Patience becomes availability. Humility becomes silence, and silence becomes a label, safe to ignore. This is where most men get contaminated. They confuse virtue with value. Virtue is internal. Value is external. Value is measured in outcomes, scarcity, competence, access, protection, connections, standards. You can be virtuous and still be positioned low. You can be morally clean and still be socially disposable. The hierarchy doesn't care how pure you are. It cares what you cost and what you change when you enter the space. Watch how the world treats you when you're nice. People don't say, "What a noble man." They say without words, "He won't retaliate. He won't leave. He'll take it." That's not respect. That's predictability, and predictability is how predators hunt. Not just obvious predators, corporate predators, social predators, romantic predators. Anyone who benefits from you staying exactly where you are. Status is not about being loud. It's about being unchangeable without consequence. A high-status man can be quiet because his silence has gravity. A low-status man can be loud and still be ignored because his noise has no cost. The difference isn't volume, it's enforcement. The ability to make your standards real through action, withholding access, withdrawing labor, walking away, protecting your time, choosing your alliances. Right now, you're likely operating on the old moral religion. If I prove I'm decent, I'll be treated decently. That's a child's law. The adult law is colder. You are treated according to the terms you allow. The room doesn't reward your intentions. It responds to your boundaries, your competence, your scarcity, your self-respect made visible. Think like a strategist, not a victim. The battlefield isn't good people versus bad people. The battlefield is ranked people versus unranked people. Ranked men are negotiated with. Unranked men are used, delayed, pacified, and discarded. And here's the part you don't want to hear. If you don't know your position, you're already losing, because everyone else knows it. They feel it the way wolves feel weakness. Through posture, through hesitation, through over-explaining, through seeking permission to exist. This chapter does one thing to you psychologically. It removes your innocence. From here on, you stop asking, "Why don't they appreciate me?" You start asking, "What position have I trained them to assign me?" Because status isn't mystical, it's mechanical. And once you see the machine, you stop worshiping it, and you start operating it with discipline. Status isn't a feeling, it's a pricing system. Every group runs an informal market where people trade resources, attention, access, protection, opportunities. And status is the number on your forehead that decides what you pay and what you can charge. You were taught a fairy tale. Just be competent, and people will be fair. Markets aren't fair. Markets are efficient. They reward what is scarce, punish what is abundant, and ignore what is unverified. If you are endlessly available, you are priced like a commodity. If your attention is scarce, your presence becomes a premium product. In this market, nobody announces the rules. They just enforce them. The four currencies everyone trades, whether they admit it or not. 1. Attention. Attention is the first tribute paid to rank. Who gets listened to, who gets interrupted, who gets the pause after they speak. This is the room silently voting. High-status men don't beg for attention. They create consequences for ignoring them, even if that consequence is simply withdrawal. 2. Access. Access is proximity. Invitations, introductions, inclusion, insider information, private rooms. Access is a gatekeeping currency. Those who control it can elevate allies and starve rivals. If you're included only when you're useful, you're not inside the tribe. You're a rented tool kept in the shed. 3. Safety/protection. Humans pretend they've outgrown the jungle. They haven't. Groups still organize around who can reduce danger: financial danger, social danger, physical danger, reputational danger. The man who can protect others becomes valuable. The man who needs protection becomes managed. That management is dressed up as advice, help, and concern. 4. Opportunity. Opportunity is jobs, deals, dates, mentorship, second chances. People don't hand opportunity to the best person. They hand it to the person whose rise benefits them or whose fall they fear. That's the market's morality: alignment and leverage. How the market measures you. Signals, not speeches. You don't get ranked by what you claim. You get ranked by signals, observable proofs that you can't easily fake. Costly signals, time, discipline, standards you actually enforce, skills with receipts, social proof, composure under pressure. Cheap signals, big talk, vague ambition, moral posturing, performative humility, endless explanations. The naive man tries to convince. The strategic man demonstrates. Markets don't respond to explanations because explanations are free. Proof is expensive. That's why it works. The hidden engine, deference and compliance status, is basically a prediction. Will this person comply, or will there be a price? That's why hierarchy forms fast. It's a risk reduction machine. People test you. Small disrespect, small delays, small boundary pushes, because tests are cheaper than wars. If you comply early, you're marked as safe to press. If you resist cleanly, you're marked as costly to mishandle. Not aggressive, costly. There's a difference. Aggression is emotional. Cost is structural. This is also why being good is often punished. Not because goodness is bad, but because goodness is frequently packaged as non-resistance. When you advertise that you won't enforce anything, you become a low-friction resource. Low friction gets consumed. The market's most common lie: we're all equal here. Groups love that line because it keeps the unranked calm while the ranked collect profit. Equality is preached most loudly right before someone extracts value from you, for the team, for the relationship, for the mission. The moment you ask for terms, the mask slips. Now you see the real exchange rate. This chapter installs a ruthless clarity. Status is not a vibe, it's an economy. Once you see the economy, you stop taking disrespect personally. You read it like a price tag, and you start noticing who is buying you cheap. You don't have status, You broadcast a level, and the room treats you accordingly. Not because they're evil, because they're efficient. Humans sort fast. Then they act like it was your idea. Here are the 7 levels. Read them like a field manual. The point isn't to feel offended. The point is to locate yourself without lying. Level 1, the ghost, unregistered. You enter, and nothing changes. People don't look up. Your words land like dust. Tells, apologetic body language, over politeness, speaking late, asking permission for basic space. How they treat you. Delays, forgot to reply, last-minute invitations, zero accountability. Core problem, you signal no consequence for ignoring you. Level 2, the tool. Useful, not respected. You're contacted when something needs doing. When it's time to celebrate, your scenery. Tells, instant responsiveness, free labor, just helping out. Loyalty offered before terms. How they treat you. Praise without promotion, gratitude instead of access. We need you while keeping you outside. Core problem, you priced yourself as cheap utility. Level 3, the Jester, liked, not feared. You're fun. You're safe. You're entertainment that makes the room lighter, so the room keeps you beneath it. Tells, self-deprecating jokes, constant diffusing, performing for acceptance, hiding ambition under humor. How they treat you. They like you, and still talk over you when it matters. Core problem, you trade authority for affection. Affection is a soft leash. Level 4, the operator, competence with limits. You're respected for execution. You solve problems. You're a specialist people rely on, but you don't set direction. Tells, strong skills, measurable output, calm under pressure, but you avoid confrontation and politics. How they treat you. Indispensable, while being excluded from decisions. Rewarded with more work. Core problem, you generate value, but don't control distribution of value. Level 5, the Gatekeeper, controller of access. Now you decide what moves and what stalls. Information, introductions, approvals, resources. Tells, people check with you first. Your calendar has gravity. Your no stands. How they treat you. Negotiation, deference, flattery, alliance offers. Core problem, the trap. You can become a bureaucrat, powerful but replaceable if your leverage is purely procedural. Level 6, the sovereign, owner of terms. This is where respect stops being optional. You don't just participate, you set the rules others adapt to. Tells, you choose the arena, define standards, exit cleanly, and you're hard to guilt. How they treat you. Caution, precision, people bring their best offer first. Core strength, you control scarcity. Your time, attention, and association are not freely available. Level 7, the symbol, myth status. You're no longer just a person, you're a reference point. People invoke your name to borrow authority. Tells, reputation precedes you, stories circulate. Your absence still shapes behavior. How they treat you, imitation, polarization, organized loyalty and organized resentment. Core risk, symbols attract parasites and challengers. Everyone wants a piece or a trophy. How to diagnose your level in 30 seconds. Ask 3 questions. Cold, factual. When you say no, does the request die? Or do they keep pressing? Do people contact you for your presence or only for your function? When you enter a room, does anything reorient around you? Attention, seating, tone, timing. Where you stand isn't your self-image. It's the pattern of consequences people expect when they deal with you. Hierarchy isn't cruel. It's hungry. It doesn't hate you. It uses what you offer. And if you don't declare a rank, the system assigns you the default. Labor, patience, compliance. Silence. The unranked man is treated like open territory. No flag, no border, no army, so everyone walks through. The first punishment, you become the buffer. In every group, there's friction, deadlines, egos, anxiety, risk. Someone absorbs it. If you're unranked, that someone is you. At work, you become the deadline sponge. Can you jump on this real quick? Becomes your permanent language. You don't get credit. You get dependency. In friend groups, you become the logistics mule. You drive, you plan, you cover, you don't mind. You're useful, not central. In family, you become the emotional janitor, expected to tolerate disrespect because that's just how they are. This is not misfortune, it's mechanics. The group pushes weight toward the man who doesn't push back. The second punishment, you get taxed, not paid. Low status is a tax bracket. People charge you in small, deniable ways. Time tax, last-minute demands, long explanations required, waiting rooms disguised as busy. Respect tax, jokes at your expense, casual dismissals, being spoken over. Opportunity tax, you do the work, someone else gets the proximity. You're kept productive, not powerful. The hierarchy is an accountant. If you don't invoice, you don't get paid. The third punishment, your virtue becomes a cage. Here's the inversion you were warned about. In many environments, what you call integrity is interpreted as non-enforcement. Loyalty becomes a collar. Patience becomes availability. Kindness becomes negotiability. Predators don't look for evil victims. They look for predictable victims. The man who will keep showing up after being disrespected because he thinks leaving would make him small. That's not morality. That's addiction to approval. The fourth punishment, you become the scapegoat. When pressure rises, when a group feels threatened, competition, layoffs, social conflict, relationship tension, someone must be blamed to restore order. Scapegoats are chosen by one trait. They can't retaliate cleanly. History didn't change. It got a new outfit. Courts, armies, gangs, corporations, same structure. Kings kept useful men near, and dangerous men respected. Useful men were discarded when convenient. In any court, rumors replace swords. The unranked man bleeds reputation because nobody fears his response. In any tribe, conformity is enforced through exclusion. The unranked are excluded first because there's no cost. If you think this is cynical, good. Cynicism is a vaccine. Innocence is a wound. The fifth punishment, your value gets stolen through roles. Once you're labeled, people stop seeing you. They see the role, the reliable guy. Translation, always available. The nice guy. Translation, low enforcement. The funny guy. Translation, safe to ignore. The helper. Translation, cheap labor. Roles are social prisons with velvet walls. They feel comfortable until you try to climb out. Then the room panics, not because it loves you, but because it loses what it was extracting. And when you resist, the system deploys its weapons. Guilt, after all we've done. Shaming, you've changed. Gaslighting, you're overreacting. Social pressure, everyone thinks you're being difficult. Not because you're wrong, because you're renegotiating your price. This chapter is the threat in plain language. If you remain unranked, you will be managed, taxed, and sacrificed whenever it benefits the group. Not as an exception, as a function. You don't climb status by wanting it. You climb by changing what it costs to treat you cheaply. The hierarchy doesn't respond to your inner growth. It responds to your terms, your scarcity, and your proof. Your first move is to stop negotiating with sentiment. Sentiment is a fog that benefits whoever already has leverage. Replace it with structure, clear rules, predictable enforcement, and measured generosity. 1. Install borders. Boundaries that don't beg a boundary isn't a speech. It's a gate. Most men fail here because they announce boundaries like they're requesting permission. Long explanations, moral justifications, emotional essays. That's not enforcement. That's pleading. High-status boundaries are short, calm, and final. Use this operating pattern. State the limit, 1 sentence. State the consequence, 1 sentence. Execute, no debate. Example in plain language. I can't do last-minute requests. If it's under 24 hours, it won't happen. Then you let a request die. The death is the lesson. 2. Create scarcity. Stop being infinitely reachable. Availability is the silent confession. My life has no higher priority than you. Scarcity doesn't mean playing games. It means having a life with real constraints. Work blocks, training, sleep, projects, commitments. When your time has a spine, your yes becomes valuable, and your no becomes believable. Practical shift. Answer slower. Schedule deliberately. Protect deep work. Leave some messages unanswered when they're low value. Not as punishment, as calibration. 3. Build competence that can't be argued with markets worship receipts. If your value is invisible, it will be disputed. Pick one domain and become measurably dangerous inside it. Sales numbers, shipped projects, certifications, portfolio, case studies, hard wins. The point is not ego. The point is removing negotiation from the table. Here is what I do. Here is the proof. Competence is also a weapon against social sabotage. People gossip about men they can't outperform. Receipts make gossip expensive. 4. Control access. Stop donating proximity to anyone. Your circle is your rank multiplier or your rank kubber, your burial ground. Low-status men seek belonging. They accept any table that offers crumbs. High-status men select alliances like a general selects supply lines, reliability, discretion, competence, shared incentives. If someone consistently extracts and never invests, they're not a friend or colleague. They're a tax, a ruthless rule. If association damages your reputation, your focus, or your peace, it's a bad trade. End it cleanly. 5. Speak with economic precision. Fewer words, higher weight. Rambling is a tell. Over-explaining is a tell. Nervous humor is a tell. You don't need charisma. You need signal clarity. Speak in outcomes and deadlines. Ask direct questions. Don't fill silence to relieve tension. Let tension work for you. Silence is not awkward when you own it. Silence is pressure. Pressure reveals who is serious. 6. Convert generosity into strategy, not leakage. Generosity is power when it's chosen, not compulsive. If you give from a position of surplus and control. I can do X, not Y. If you mentor those who execute. If you help in ways that build reputation and reciprocity, not dependency. Never rescue people who repeatedly ignore their own responsibilities. That's not kindness. That's self-harm wearing a halo. 7. The key. Consistent enforcement without theatrics. Your emotional storms don't raise status. Your consistency does. Every time you tolerate a violation, you teach the room your rules are fake. Every time you enforce calmly, you teach the room you're expensive to mishandle. Status isn't built by one dramatic stand. It's built by 100 quiet enforcements that reshape expectations. This chapter's psychological objective is simple. You stop being a target and become a cost. Your problem isn't a lack of information. It's an identity that betrays you in every room. The old identity is the man who negotiates for permission to exist. Over-explaining, over-giving, over-tolerating. He calls it being good. The hierarchy calls it being owned. This chapter is the execution, not of your personality, of your dependence. Because as long as your self-worth requires external confirmation, you will accept humiliating deals just to keep the oxygen flowing. Approval is a drug, and you've been buying it with your spine. The first death is this: you stop being a good man, not because goodness is evil, because goodness is an easy mask for cowardice. The world doesn't reward good. It rewards standards enforced. A sovereign is not admired for warmth. He is respected for terms. So you replace the old operating system with a new one. I do not ask to be treated well. I make mistreatment expensive. That's the difference between a citizen and a state. Citizens complain. States retaliate economically through access, time, opportunities, association. Your retaliation doesn't need anger, it needs follow-through. Now comes the second death. You stop auditioning. Auditioning is when you perform competence, loyalty, humor, usefulness, hoping someone grants you rank. That posture is detectable. It leaks desperation through little movements, fast replies, nervous smiles, soft agreements. I'm cool with whatever. Sovereignty begins when you act like your life is already booked, already structured, already moving, because it is. The replacement identity is built from 3 pillars. 1. Non-neediness, emotional independence. Non-neediness isn't not caring. It's not needing their reaction to breathe. You train it by cutting the behaviors that scream hunger. Stop explaining yourself to people who aren't negotiating in good faith. Stop chasing closure from disrespectful exits. Stop trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. A sovereign doesn't beg the jury. He leaves the courtroom. 2. Standards. Law, not mood. Your standards must become law, repeatable, boring, enforced. If your standards change based on who's in front of you, you don't have standards. You have fear. Write them mentally like a contract. What you tolerate, what you don't. What happens when someone crosses the line, then enforce with clean actions, reduced access, delayed responses, removal from inner circle, refusal of favors, ending conversations, no speeches, no rage, just consequences. 3. Selection, predator-level discrimination. Most men try to be chosen. Sovereigns choose. You stop collecting people like trophies and start selecting them like weapons. Who strengthens your reputation? Who increases your options? Who behaves well when there is nothing to gain? Who collapses into entitlement the moment you say no? The moment you realize most people are not good or bad, but incentive-driven, your sentimentality dies. Good. Sentimentality is how parasites enter. Expect a backlash. When you kill the old identity, the system will attempt resurrection. People will call you cold, arrogant, difficult, selfish, because your new boundaries threaten their discounts. That noise is not a moral evaluation. It's a bill collector screaming because the free money stopped. The final replacement is simple and brutal. You become a man with an exit. An exit is the ultimate leverage. The man who can leave cannot be trapped by guilt, scarcity, or social pressure. He doesn't need to win arguments. He just withdraws cooperation. That's sovereignty. Not domination, but refusal to be dominated. You don't get to opt out of hierarchy. You only get to choose whether you climb it consciously or get sorted like inventory. That's the final insult to your fantasies. Neutrality doesn't exist. If you refuse to play, you still become a piece on someone else's board. The world will select a role for you that matches your enforcement level. And if your enforcement is weak, your role will be service, not sovereignty. Here's the warning. The modern cage is soft. No chains. Just comfort. Just distraction. Just endless content, telling you to be harmless, agreeable, and open. That's not enlightenment. It's domestication. A domesticated man is easy to hire, easy to date temporarily, easy to guilt, easy to discard. He confuses peace with paralysis and calls it maturity. And every arena runs the same algorithm. If you tolerate disrespect, you get more of it. If you overgive, you get taken for granted. If you seek approval, you get managed. If you avoid conflict, you become the conflict's victim. The system doesn't need to conspire against you. It just needs you to stay predictable. So you choose an arena, not a dream. An arena, because men rot when they float. They become opinionated cowards, experts in critique, amateurs in execution. You want status? You earn it in a place that produces receipts. A craft, a business, a body, a discipline, a reputation built on delivered outcomes. Not talk, not aesthetics, outcomes. Then you accept the cost that separates sovereigns from the herd. You will be misunderstood on purpose. People will interpret your boundaries as hostility. They will interpret your silence as arrogance. They will interpret your standards as insecurity. That's not confusion. That's strategy. Mislabeling is how low-level players try to drag you back into negotiation where they have a chance. Do not defend yourself to people who benefit from you shrinking. Instead, operate by 3 elite laws. Never argue about your boundaries. Enforce them. Argument is a request. Enforcement is a verdict. Never chase people who downgrade you. Replace them. Chasing is a confession of scarcity. Replacement is proof of options. Never build a life you can't walk away from. If you can't leave, you're not free. You're leased. This is the final inversion. You are trained to believe that being good makes you safe. The truth is the opposite. Being capable makes you safe. Being selective makes you safe. Being willing to walk away makes you safe. The elite don't win because they're cruel. They win because they're structural. They build systems, standards, and exits. They don't rely on hope. They rely on design. If you're still clinging to the old religion, someone will notice. They'll appreciate me. It'll work out. Understand what you're really saying. I want the rewards of power without the cost of becoming powerful. The world doesn't fund that fantasy. So here's the last warning. Clean and unromantic. A man without rank is a man without protection. He becomes a buffer, a tool, a scapegoat, a temporary convenience. Choose the arena. Build receipts. Enforce terms. Select alliances. Maintain exits. Or stay soft and get priced accordingly.